Heyo, Jake here. Boom, Jake here, I should say. This is my first video I'm going to be doing while driving. I shouldn't be doing this. It's probably illegal, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's talk more about Sicario, which I learned could possibly be pronounced Sicario. That's probably the way that you actually do pronounce it, and I've been doing it wrong this entire time. For that, I apologize. Unless I wasn't wrong and I was pronouncing it right, then there's nothing to apologize for, but I'll still apologize. I don't give a fuck. Let's talk more about it. I'm driving home from the theater because I saw it again, because it's that damn good. You should see it. Do it. And I was thinking about the ending while the ending was happening. This is obviously spoilers, since it's probably going to be called spoiler talk or spoil bramble or something at the very top of the video. Wow, you can't see me for shit, but whatever. Obviously these are going to be spoilers, so click away now if you haven't seen the movie, which you should have already, because it's fucking good. But anyway, the ending of Sicario-Cesario. You know, the ending is Alejandro finds the main bad guy who cut off his wife's head and threw his daughter into a vat of acid. He finds him. He infiltrates his house. Yada yada yada. He kills his wife and both of his sons in front of him, and then he kills him. But then they cut to a scene with Emily Blunt where she's standing outside on a balcony, and she and Benicio del Toro have a dialogue together, and basically he wants her to sign a piece of paper that states that everything that they did illegally was actually by the book. Now, there's this. Now, he holds a gun to her head, and basically, in a very subtle way, I guess, if you want to call it subtle, implies that he'll kill her if she doesn't. But she does. He takes apart the gun and then leaves, stating that she should move to a small town because this is the land of wolves, and she is not a wolf. And then he leaves. And then there's a scene where, and then it cuts to a scene where he's walking out of the apartment complex that she was in, and she comes out with the gun, with, I'm assuming, the gun that he took apart reassembled, and points it at him. And he looks back, seeing that she's pointing the gun at him from the balcony. No more lights. Oh well. That she's pointing a gun at him from the balcony. And this is where we're going to pause at this ending, because I have a theory. Should I drive with this on? No, because that's illegal. Well, probably doing this is illegal too, but whatever. So, I have a theory that there are 4 cuts to this ending. That there are 4 versions of this ending that are sitting on the shelf that I think we could possibly get in a Blu-ray release. The ending, one of those endings being the one that happened, is that where she's pointing the gun at him. There's a pretty big stare down, a pretty long stare down, and then she decides not to shoot him. He walks off. And then it cuts to a kid whose dad was a policeman who was killed during the ordeal, and goes on to show him playing a soccer game, implicating that even though all of this took place, it still changed nothing, because we are only as small as what we do, yada yada yada. That's the ending that they chose. I theorize that there are 3 other endings. One other ending is the one that the director, since he also directed Prisoners, and that ended with a 30-second cut of Jake Gyllenhaal's face, and then it just cut to black and then showed the title. I suspect that that's one of the endings that they chose not to put in the theatrical version, where they're having the stare down, where Emily's on the balcony and Benicio del Toro is in the parking lot just staring at her. and she has the gun pointed at him. And I suspect that ending just cuts, and then it says Sicario. That's the ending I personally would have chose. Then I think that there is another ending that has the same scene, but it cuts right before she decides to shoot him or not, and then it shows the kid looking at his dad's bed and then going to the soccer game, just leaving some ambiguity as to whether she actually shot him or not. That's probably the most official ending, because then you get the you get the climax, and then you get the slowdown, but then you also get the plot resolution of all the threads that they combined. Fourth cut is that she does. I think that they have is that she does shoot him. And then it continues to show the kid looking at his dad's bed, and then he goes out and plays the soccer game, and then it cuts to Sicario, and then ending credits. I theorize that we will more than likely trying to sound smart. I think that we'll probably get these in a extended cut or in a Blu-ray release, but yeah, that's what I think is going on right now. Personally, I would have preferred the ending where it leaves it obscure whether or not she shot him, but it still cuts to the kid playing the soccer game. That, I feel, would have been the definitive ending, because then you tie together every plot point, with the exception of Brolin, because I also realized that his character kind of just disappears after they do the raid. So yeah, that's what I think of the ending. It's not the ending that I would have chose if I'm right and there are multiple cuts to this ending. But the one that they chose still doesn't ruin the movie. It's still just as good, and it's still a damn good watch. It's a little long a second time around, because there's a lot of, since you already know what's going to happen, there's a lot of waiting for the pivotal moments. But you expect that from seeing a movie twice. So yeah, I am going to end this video, because this is probably illegal, and yeah, that, and there are no lights anymore, so you are literally listening to me instead of seeing me. So bye. Maybe if I can push the button. No, I can't push the button. Let me push the button.